President Trump slamming House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's impeachment delay strategy, if it is a strategy at all. The president lashing out in a tweet this afternoon, quote, "So interesting to see Nancy Pelosi demanding fairness from Mitch McConnell when she presided over the most unfair hearing in the history of the United States Congress," end quote. This is a new Wall Street Journal op-ed by Kimberly Strassel saying Republicans shouldn't assume that Pelosi wants a Senate trial at all, that she might want to keep the process stuck where it is for a while. Here now is Republican House Judiciary Committee member Guy Reschenthaler. Congressman, good to see you. So Strassel is calling on Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to schedule a trial immediately. Are Pelosi and Democrats planning on dragging the impeachment out into the 2020 election?
Well, you know, they're all over the place with all this. I think it really just shows the lack of leadership in the Democrat Party, particularly in the House. We have to remember that Nancy Pelosi might be Speaker, but this party is really in control of the far-left liberal freshmen, AOC, Tlaib, Omar. They're the ones that are really driving this entire, what I would call a sham impeachment. But I can say this, the longer the impeachment sham drags out, I would say the better for Republicans. We have to remember that President Trump's numbers have gone up, particularly in swing states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. And in the battleground districts where Democrats hold seats, but Trump won those districts, those numbers look really good for Republican challengers, and it means that we will likely take back the House in 2020.
Congressman Gary Smith, thanks for being on the show. Put on your blue hat for a second, and I hear what you're saying about the numbers, but don't you think it would make sense for the left, Pelosi, et cetera, to keep bringing up new issues, new quote-unquote crimes, and continue to keep Trump on the hot seat, new articles of impeachment, if you will, all the way, as long as they can, through the election, so it looks like he's always under the gun?
I don't think that's a good idea at all. I think that what's happening is you're seeing that the impeachment fiasco is backfiring on Democrats. Those that support impeachment are folks that would not vote for the president anyhow. And independent voters, swing voters, moderate Democrats are coming over to the Republican Party in droves, and the poll numbers are showing that. Also, you have to remember that our conference, the Republican conference, is not only more united, stronger than ever, we're also bigger than when this entire sham impeachment started, because Jeff Van Drew switched parties to come over and become a Republican. So if I were thinking like a Democrat, I would want this over as soon as possible, and I would want to focus on getting other things done, lowering prescription drug prices, maybe a transportation infrastructure package. But hey, as a Republican, I say keep bringing this, because this has been nothing but great for the Republican Party.
Congressman Jonas Ferris, again, there's something that are you like nervous at all? I just don't. Seeing that when the Mueller report would dragged on and on, it didn't really help the Democrats' case. That they would drag that on again, it almost seems like there's got to be a reason for that. Like, why wouldn't they dump it on you and then just say, oh, it's a sham in the Senate? Look how quickly they just pushed this thing through. Because she knows she's not going to get the votes anyway. So why are you at all worried there's something that she's cooking up that you don't know about? Or
Jonas, I'm not worried at all. I've been here from the beginning. Remember, I sit on Foreign Affairs and Judiciary, so both these committees have had some jurisdiction over impeachment. And I was there when Mueller testified. It was what I would call a nothing burger. The impeachment has been an absolute joke because the Democrats don't have the facts to support the articles of impeachment. There was no underlying crime, and the fact that Nancy Pelosi is sitting on this shows that it's flimsy, it's weak, it was rushed. But I do think that there is something to this. I think that the Democrats want to keep impeachment in the news, because as long as we're talking about impeachment, we're not talking about two things. One, we're not talking about the red-hot Trump economy, where we've seen record-low unemployment in the last 50 years. We've seen the stock market grow and grow and get stronger. Blue-collar and middle-class wages are up. And we're not talking about that. We're also not talking about the far-left radical agenda, crazy things like the Green New Deal, banning airplanes, giving taxpayer-funded health care to illegal immigrants. We're not talking about that far-left nonsense that's coming from the far-left Democrats in the freshman class.
Congressman Christina Partsinevelos here. There's a lot of different reasons as to why she's probably holding on to this in her hands. But Mitch McConnell actually said that maybe he wouldn't start the USMCA, which is the Canada trade deal with Mexico and the United States, until it finished a Senate trial. So could that be something? And could we possibly see Mitch McConnell advance with some sort of resolution to, I guess, condemn the House?
We could see both of those things. And you have to remember, with a trade deal, there is a timeline. It's not like a normal bill. There's a period, there's a window once the House passes it that the Senate has to pass it, or we have to renegotiate or pass again. So that's a technicality. You can see that at play. But I certainly don't want to see USMCA held up. The trade between Canada, Mexico, and the United States is twice the trade that we have with China. This is very important for American farmers, for manufacturing. So it would be a shame if this is held hostage.
Congressman Gary Culp, I'm here. Do you think this was the plan all along? Because all I can tell you is, leading up to this, for a few weeks, all we heard was, we've got to get this done quick or else. We've got to get this through. We got to get impeachment done. And they just rammed this baby through. And then all of a sudden, whoops, let's stop it dead in its tracks.
I don't think there's a plan at all. I think that AOC, if you would read her Twitter feed today, it tells you what Nancy Pelosi is going to do tomorrow. I think Nancy Pelosi is just holding on for dear life, dealing with these far-left radical freshmen. And I think that the Democrats are looking from news cycle to news cycle. They're not looking out and projecting a plan.
Very quickly, if Speaker Pelosi doesn't appoint House managers herself, would you advise Senator McConnell to do it himself?
I would advise Mitch McConnell to do whatever he can to bring this to a resolution so the country can move on. And Nancy Pelosi has to realize that she's the Speaker of the House. She has nothing to do with the Senate. This is a two-step process. The House votes to impeach, the Senate tries. It's in the Constitution.
Congressman Guy Reschenthaler, have a wonderful Happy New Year, sir. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you again.